Hello, welcome to Sunfire Designs. Today I'm going to be making a tray using this Mystique mold from Julie at Pouring Your Heart Out. I'm also going to be adding this sticker, which I got on Amazon, and I will include the link and the comments or in the information up on the video. But there's 4 different packets, and this one I liked because it came with different mandala patterns, which I think are cool. There's 2 of each pattern. And from those, I chose this particular one right here. Let me get in there. Because it has the same number of points as this does. Okay, so there's 6 points. So it kind of lined up perfectly. I did measure to make sure that it's in the center because sometimes that's not so easy. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started. My resin's already at 30, like almost 33 degrees, which is a little warmer than I usually use it. Your temperature will vary depending on your resin and also where you live. I live in a very hot climate, so it warms up pretty fast, and it's hot, so it cures faster. So it works better if I want an actual bloom for me to pour it at that temperature. I'm going to take this tool and go around the edges because bubbles like to gather there, and I want to try to make sure I get as many of them out as I can, because if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I have a war against bubbles. I'm not a fan. Let's just say that. All right. Hopefully I've gotten all of those out, and we can go ahead and get started. So I mixed my resin up. As I said, I got it to 32, 33 degrees, and sorry, making sure I wipe off my thermometer. I can't remember if I did it or not. Okay, so I'm going to start off. I put aside 40 mils, just over 40 mils for my white. And actually I'm going to dump some of that out because I'll probably only need 30, but I'm going to make 40 mils. So I'm going to start off by putting I'm going to torch it. Where's my torch? I don't feel like I'm very organized today for some reason. I'm going to give it a quick torch to get rid of any little bubbles at the top. And then I'm going to use my resin inks, my alcohol inks, to color this. So I'm going to be using the Brea Reese alcohol inks today. I'm going to be using yellow and crimson. And I will put links for those in the description, although some of these colors I use are not on Amazon. I got them either at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, I can't remember. So if you can't find them on Amazon, you can get them at your local craft store, most likely. All right, so I want there to be kind of a big area of yellow around the middle. Okay, just so that it kind of like it's coming out from the middle of the sticker. By the way, I did not take the sticky part off of it. These molds are nice and squishy, so when I put that in, I just made sure I pressed it really firmly and made sure there were no bubbles underneath it. But I did it so the sticker part is facing upwards, so if I need to peel the back off, I can. Hopefully it should just work. We'll see. This is kind of an experiment. I haven't used this kind before. Okay, and I'm going to go around and do my crimson. This is crimson. The other one was just called yellow. I just love this color crimson. It's just, I just love it. This is one of my favorite color combinations because it makes like an orangish, peachish in the middle, and it just works out really nicely. All right, so for this, I have 40 mils in here, and I'm gonna use my Cast and Craft. My bottle it's almost empty, and for some reason, it comes out in bigger drops than it used to. So I usually do 1 drop for every 10 mils, but I'm going to just put 3 drops in this time and start there to see if I like the color of it, because I don't want to do it. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so now I will stir it. Here's my stick. All right, so now I'm gonna mix it up and I'm gonna see if it looks like it's the right color. It needs to be opaque, but transparent at the same time. So it's kind of a little happy medium there. You want it to be kind of like skim milk, like this. You can see the stick through it, but it's pretty, you know, it's white enough you should be able to see the petals in the bloom, okay? So I'm gonna pour this into my piping bag and get that going. Looks like my alcohol inks are kind of coming in and like being small. They're not spreading out as much as I like. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more, you know, and then let them spread out, hopefully, a little more. Gonna kind of do them in the spots in between here. And I am gonna put a couple more drops of the yellow in the middle, and hopefully that should get things moving out. If not, I'm gonna swirl it anyway when I'm ready. So give that a second. Now just remember, you don't want to torch when you have the alcohol inks when they're fresh. If you got to give them a little bit of time to dry and spread before you spray them. And usually I incorporate them into the resin. That way I know that it's safe if I want to use a torch. All right, so I am going to go ahead and swirl them because it looks like they're pretty much done distributing themselves. So I'm kind of just go like this. I like the pattern that makes. Okay, so hopefully that'll make a really pretty bloom. Now I'm going to cut the tip off of my piping bag. I will put a link to these piping bags in the description. I like them because they're not as long as some of the other ones or bulky. I can curl this up pretty easily. And they have these little dots here so you can kind of see like how far up you want to cut it. And maybe that'll help you remember how far you want to cut it for the next time. And you want to start off small and then increase the size if you need to. I'm gonna just do this. It's coming out lovely, pretty fast actually, but that's okay. I pipe pretty fast anyway. I am gonna start at the outside and go in. I don't know that I will be able to follow this pattern because it's pretty detailed, but I'm just gonna kind of make a wavy line as best as I can, because every time I go to do this, I have the reflection of my light in the background. All right, so I did see one spot where I got a little blobby there. All right, so I am gonna follow the lines on the mold, and I'm going to come in at these points and go out at these points. Actually, I wanna add just a little bit more in the middle so that I can swirl that. All right, here we go. In. I just love this mold. It's so pretty. as soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to have that. So here we go. I ended up getting it. So I will put a link to Pouring Your Heart Out YouTube, and then you can go there to get information about how to order this if you want to. Just gonna do just a tiny little swirl in the middle. I think that looks really pretty. Hopefully this will bloom out for me and we'll have a gorgeous gorgeous, gorgeous tray. Let me just hit it with the bubbles, hit the bubbles. I don't want to hit it with bubbles. Obviously having issues speaking today. Okay, and that's it. So I will let this sit for a bit. Once it's done spreading and it's not spreading any longer, this is on my heat mat. So I will turn it on and try to cure it a little faster, and then come back if I decide to add a background to it. So I think I've got enough room in there. Yeah, I do. I can add a background to it. So I will see you when it's ready. Hello, welcome to Sunfire Designs. Today I'm going to be making a platter mold. It's like a tray, not a platter. I'm going to be making, all right, welcome back. My tray has had some time to cure. Unfortunately, I did put it on the heating pad and I put the cover over it because mine comes with a cover, and I got a few bubbles in there, and I got a few on the side which came out of nowhere. They were not there. I let it sit for a while before I covered it up. So I don't know what's going on with that, but hopefully when I put in I'm going to put in a top coat here to go in the back, and hopefully you won't be able to see the bubbles, at least not these ones. You'll probably see these ones, but you know, it is what it is. So hopefully they're small enough and I can just file them off. So I've already mixed up my resin. It does have a few little micro bubbles because I didn't use my mixer to mix it up since it's such a small amount. I have this, oh geez Louise. This mixer here that I use to mix up my resin. In fact, I have a new one coming today. But I use that to mix up my resin. It really, really, really helps with the bubbles. I don't get quite as many bubbles. Obviously, when that gets heated, it releases the bubbles. So I'm going to have to make a note to check on that more frequently. I did just get this heating pad. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up my back. I'm going to use this dark blue pigment powder that I made. And if you don't know how to make pigment powder of your own, I do have another video that shows you how to do that. It's super easy. Just need a little bit of part A and some mica powder and like a mortar and pestle, and you can make your own pigment powder. So pigment paste. So this is a really dark blue and it's got a nice shimmer to it. So I'm going to use this on here for my background. Now you do have to use, I have found you do have to use a little more of this than you do for normal pigment paste. Just because I didn't make it quite as concentrated as a pigment paste that you purchase would be. So I'm going to get a generous amount on here and I'm going to put it in here and I'm going to stir. And then if I need to add more, I can definitely add more. Trying to make sure that it's all off the stick so we can incorporate it in. I do think I'm going to need to have more because as you can see, it's pretty opaque, not opaque, it's pretty transparent. Getting my words mixed up here. All right, so I am gonna need a little bit more. So I will just take and wipe off my stick so that I don't get resin in it. And I'm gonna do it again. And I'm gonna take a good amount here like that. And then stir it up because I want it to be fairly opaque. It's not going to be perfectly opaque, obviously, but I want to get it as good as I can, right? That's all you can do. All right. So that's a little bit better. I think that'll work for the background. And then you might still be able to see the light through it. I don't know, but I am pleased with that. So here we go. We're going to pour this on here. I mixed up 3 ounces. I don't know if I'm going to need the whole thing or not. So I'm going to start off pouring some of it on there and kind of pushing it into the little parts here. Definitely need to get a more level table. I'm I'm looking to get a workbench. I think that might make things a little bit better, but we'll see. All right, it looks like I can add a little bit more without it overflowing, because it does shrink a little bit, so I'm just gonna use it all. There we go. Okie dokie. I'm going to use a torch, and I'm gonna torch it a few times before I'm gonna probably put it back on the heating mat. I might, I don't know, I might not, but definitely gonna torch it a few times as we go, since the bubbles obviously were hiding from me and come up a little bit late. So, all right, well, that is it. I will see you guys when this is done. I'll be back. All right, welcome back. It's time to take this out of the mold and see how it turned out. Fingers crossed we have something amazing. Let me move this up a little bit so you can see. All right. I just love this blue. It's one of my favorite colors. Okay, here we go. I like the way that turned out. I know you could barely see the yellow, but I really like this. I think that came out so cool. I'll have to go get a picture of it outside. I like how the petals kind of shoot out, and they look very different from how my petals normally look. I really like these. I think next time I'll take the yellow out a bit further, but I still like how you can see the yellow behind the sticker. So, and my bubbles aren't super obvious. Like, there's a few, you can just feel them. They can't really see them that well, and I didn't really get many bubbles in here. I got a couple little ones, but I am just wild about this. I am wild about this. I love it. All right, I'll go take some pictures in the sun, and then I will see you guys next time. Thanks for staying with me through my journey, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.